Doom Eternal introduced third-person cutscenes, and this divided audiences upon the game's release. Now these type of cutscenes are nothing new in the Doom series. I mean, Doom 3 had a ton of them, and if you want to count this as a cutscene, then yeah, third-person cutscenes have existed since the 90s, technically. Doom 2016 didn't have these type of cutscenes, and limited itself to only having first-person cinematics. This is one of the issues I had with the game, since Doom 2016 would just stop in its tracks while a character monologues to you. The player couldn't skip it because it was all in-game, and if you didn't care about the story, you just had to grin and take the exposition. With Doom Eternal, this problem is eliminated because every cinematic can be skipped, and even though third-person cutscenes exist in the game, that doesn't mean that they completely removed first-person cutscenes. One of my favourite moments in Doom Eternal is when the Doomslayer dashes towards the first Hellpriest and decapitates him. I know that some people don't like the third-person cutscenes because it takes away from the immersion of the game or you lose the Doomslayer's perspective, but I don't see this as an issue. First of all, I think the Doomslayer acts the same in the third-person cutscenes as he does in the first-person cutscenes. He is still a badass, and putting the Slayer in a third-person perspective opens the game up to be even more immersive, I feel. They can have creative angles and do all sorts of camera tricks with the third-person cutscenes, whereas the first-person cutscenes are limited in what they can actually do. That being said, some of my favourite cutscenes are first person, including the opening of Mars Core where he takes the plasma rifle from the officer. The notion that the Doomslayer is a surrogate for the player is something that I tend to agree with, but he's also his own standalone character. The Doom Marine acts as both, and this is evident in Doom 1's storyline. Doom Guy assaulted a superior officer for ordering his soldiers to fire upon civilians. Then obviously the teleportation stuff on Phobos happens, demons travel to Mars, etc. However, Romero has stated in the past that Doomguy was purposely left without a name because he was supposed to be you, the player. I feel like this has been carried perfectly into the new Doom games. Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal expand on the story of the Doom Marine with him rising up the ranks of the Night Sentinels and all of that, but he is still a surrogate for you. The Doomslayer does things that the player would do in these situations. The player is supposed to see themselves in the Doomslayer, and he poses the questions that players want to ask, which is basically just, where are the demons because I want to kill them. Doom 2016 opens with the Slayer getting a call from Samuel Hayden. The exposition is seeping into the game, and the Doomslayer and the player don't want any part of it. He is supposed to mimic how you are feeling and how you would react to the situation, and this is continued into Doom Eternal with him blowing a hole into Mars, disobeying King Novik, etc. However, the Doom Marine has also always been a character in the Doom world, and even though he might not have a name, he is still the protagonist with a clear backstory. Doom Eternal rides a great line in my opinion of not having a story shoved in the player's face, even more so than Doom 2016. Sure, Doom 2016 was way more clear and concise with what's happening, so it's easier to follow along. That being said, just because the story in Doom Eternal is more convoluted than in Doom 2016, that doesn't mean that it's more in your face. This is just false, because you can skip every single cutscene. I do want to hear your thoughts on Doom Eternal's cutscenes in comparison to Doom 2016, and also the development of the Doomslayer character. Even though he is sort of a surrogate for the audience, he is still a character in the world of Doom, especially with these reboot games. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I thank you for watching.